I want to explain to you, especially if you were just starting off any sort of art form, such as writing, playing music, learning a new instrument, writing a song, even. Okay, if you found that doing, let's say, writing a song, if you found that you give up really, really easily, okay, and simply because you're not progressing much, okay, I'm literally just here to tell you, you need to keep going, okay, because consistency in an actual project, anything you do, is always going to be king. Even if you give up on it and then you come back, that's still being consistent because you're coming back to it. Not being consistent will literally mean you just do it once and then you never do it again for about 6 months and then you might come back to it, okay? Even if you're coming back to it, maybe let's say it used to be once a month, then you made it twice a month. That doesn't sound like a lot, but genuinely, if that's the most amount of time you have, you can keep doing that, okay? You will eventually just get better and better. But if you can, try to put in a ton of time into whatever you're trying to do, such as playing an instrument, especially that. I know that for a certainty. If I were teaching you piano and you told me I only practice twice a month, okay, I would not teach you anymore, okay? You can always find time in the day for your project. You always can, okay? Even if it is something kind of time consuming, such as like writing a story or something, okay? You can do that even on like public transport if you wanted to, instead of, I guess, listening to music or watching or scrolling through TikTok or watching YouTube videos on the bus, right? You could work on some ideas if you like to. In fact, even recently, I have it over there, but basically, there's this thing, it's called a commonplace book, and it helps. It's basically like a diary, but it's like for everything. Okay, any ideas that you have, you put that down. Anything you found kind of inspirational or just kind of useful to know, you put that down. Definitions, words, put that down. Whatever you want. Okay, so it's a bit like a diary, but it's called a commonplace book. I found that to be really helpful, and it gives me ideas. It allows me to note down ideas, especially for videos. That might be really helpful for you, especially if you are writing songs, writing stories. You might find that having, you might find that an idea just comes to you just out of nowhere, and putting it down on your phone is all right. But then when you write it on paper, there's something about having writing it onto paper is just better, okay? Because you're actually into the moment more. It takes you a lot longer to write all those words down, right? And then from that, it's a lot more flexible as well, because you can write like a circle and then create what do you call it, a word cloud. Yeah, you can do that, okay? It's, I would just highly suggest using a commonplace book. I just started using one, but I can tell how useful it is going to be. I started taking it everywhere with me. I would suggest doing the same thing. Okay, if you're not sure what exactly how it works, or like maybe you want some ideas on how it works, just search up onto YouTube. There's a bunch of people that would show you that. They are super fancy with it as well. They'll like have the, what do you call it, the bullet listing, whatever. It's a bullet journal. That's what they call it. But a commonplace book. Search that up and then try that out. You might find that you get like a lot more inspiration, especially if you are creating things. But if you're trying to if you're trying to get better at something, just keep at it, okay? Because most people, they will fail were like, let's say, 1 week in, okay? Most people, if you're trying to learn guitar, let's say, and you're a week in and you really feel like giving up, that is the point where most people give up as well. But if you keep going, then you've beaten 90% of people, okay? Keep going, and then you're a month in and you want to give up, you've beaten 95% of people in guitar, okay? And it keeps going and it stacks up and stacks up, and eventually you'll be in the top like 3% of guitarists just by doing that. Okay, that percentage might be overinflated, but you get what I'm coming from, okay? That's advice that I give you. Basically, try to remain consistent in something, but if you can, try to find things, especially you struggle to, if you struggle to be consistent because you don't have, let's say, that instrument with you to practice, right? There are always ways to still study and work on that thing. It could be watching YouTube videos on like technique, on like how to play a violin properly on like through a YouTube video. So you don't actually have to have the violin with you. You could watch it on the bus if you really wanted to. You could search it up, you could research, all right? You can ask questions to like other violin teachers or something. You can do that. That still works. That still counts as like researching and getting better at your craft because you're still learning, aren't you? Hopefully this is helpful. I know I'm all over the place. I'm just speaking really fast. Sorry. I will see you later. Bye.